Hello, hello, hello. And today we're carrying on with the Queen discography thing. Very loose. There are lots of different live albums, but we're going to just concentrate on, well, a few of them. A few of them. And this is the next one. I'm organised. What one is it? What one is it? Are you ready? It's this one. It's Live Magic, which was originally released on the 1st of December 1986. Yeah, on LP and CD. I'm sure it must have been out on tape as well, surely. But there you go. I remember as a young lad getting it on CD. And if my memory is correct, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I think it was like a like one of those low price CDs. I don't think it was like a full price CD back in the day. It wasn't like a 15.99. I think it was like a tenner or 7.99 or something. Am I remembering that wrong? But I remember getting it when it came out. I had this one. I had this one. A lot of people criticised it because it is heavily edited. It's 49 minutes, 22 seconds long on CD. It's even shorter on LP because some of the tracks are edited down to the quick. And also, some tracks on on the set list as well. Some of the songs, some of the medleys and whatnot are edited out of the set list. It sounds really good. Most of it was, well, a lot of it was recorded at Nebworth. That was the last run of dates that the band did in the UK. There was some in Budapest, which was, I think, that was quite widely documented, that those gigs, because it was like the first time they'd gone kind of behind the Iron Curtain, because there was still the Cold War going on back in those days. And some of it was at Wembley. We'll talk about that in a minute. I mean, I enjoyed it again for a live album. It sounded really good. It sounded a lot better than Live Killers, because you can do stuff these days. You can really, really make. They could really do good live recordings, and seem better than. That's not really fair, because there are some good live recordings from the 70s, but they're sometimes a little bit hit and miss. Whereas this one, sounded superb, and I just thought it was really, really good. You know, um, and like I said, it was one of the early CDs that I had in my collection. I think. He's trying to remember, desperately trying to remember. Um, mm, mm. I was 86, so no. I was definitely into Genesis by then, so no. I would have had a few CDs. I remember getting some Genesis stuff on CD. Oh, it's complicated. However, the whole reason I've got you here is not to talk about that. Yeah. It's because I'm bringing back my old brown tape box. Oh God, what have you done? What have you done? For back in the day, kids, there was this thing called radio. And Radio Gaga, Radio Blah Blah, Radio What's New, Someone Still Loves You. That's how I remember it. But, and again, I don't know if I'm remembering this right, because I'm old. Let me just go to Wikipedia has all the answers, doesn't it? Or the internet has all the answers. Uh, uh, yes, yes, it was on Channel 4. Was it? Was it on Channel 4? I don't know. There was a concert TV ad. Uh, anyway, back in the day, um, the Wembley gig was broadcast on the television But because we had this thing called NICAM. Who remembers NICAM, which was a kind of stereo signal that's again at the late end of the 80s. TVs started to have stereo speakers built into them, and they were pushing NICAM stereo. But if you didn't have NICAM stereo, they did this thing called simulcast. And what they'd do, right, is they'd broadcast it on the radio. Sometimes it was on Radio 1 or whatever, or sometimes it was Capital. Even Capital Radio did some simulcasts. And I taped it off the radio. Look, that's my own handwriting. 15-year-old Darren's handwriting. It's still as bad as that now, but you can see some of the tracks that were missing. You see, and I even wrote. Look, it's even got a label on the cassette. Look, it's a TDK D90. This is the reason why I want to buy a tape deck. I keep going on eBay and looking for a cheap tape deck, but they're quite expensive. But see, I did that, and then on the back I even put who played and look, Spike Edney's on it as well. Look, see, and it's recorded on the 12th of July, 1986 at Wembley Stadium. However, it was actually recorded the 25th of the 10th. That's October 1986, between 11 p.m. and 12:30 a.m. off the radio, and I turned noise reduction off. You know, noise reduction was off. You can see, I'd actually look, noise reduction was off, and I want to play this tape. For I have, it's probably on the internet. It's probably on YouTube, but this is my tape. This is my tape that I'd made off the radio. One day I'll grow up. So yeah, this is the only reason why I want to get a tape deck. And see, I've also got, this is the Radio 1 used to do was it? It was the live at the Hammersmith Odeon, Christmas '75. I got that one as well. That was done a good few years before. This was, I think, I'm not sure when it was, but yeah, got that on there. See that? Those are Popular Computer Weekly stickers. I won those in a competition. Yeah, I won those in a competition. First prize was a computer. Runners-up prize, stickers for cassettes. And there was only one runners-up prize, and that was it. I didn't get the computer. I got the fucking cassettes, man. The story of my life. Always a runner-up. Always the booby prize. But yeah, that's been well documented. Oops, I dropped it now. It's ruined. That's been well documented as well. So, but I would love to just to hear the sound quality. I must get a tape deck off of eBay. I want a Sony one. Or maybe one of those Denon ones where it kind of slides out and goes back in again. But again, I always get a bit dubious about buying second-hand electronics because you can't buy a decent one because no Dolby anymore because the licensing for the Dolby circuit went out of action about 10 years ago, and so you can't get all those Dolby tapes. Hiss now, just hiss unless you buy the old decks. But yeah, it was a great time. It was the finale of the Queen experience, getting back to what we're supposed to be talking about. And again, on the Wembley, they played, what did they play? Played One Vision, obviously, Tie Your Mother Down, Lap of the Gods, Seven Seas of Rye, Kind of Magic, Under Pressure, Another One Bites Dust, Who Wants to Live Forever, Want to Break Free is Well Created, Tutti Frutti, Baby Rhapsody, Hammer at the Full, Crazy What Thing We Love, Radio Gaga, We'll Rock You, Friends Will Be Friends, We Are the Champions, and God Save the Queen. So yeah, and that was released as a CD as well, but I never got that one because that was a few years back because I didn't need to because I had the tape. I'm a dirty bootlegger, There you go. That's all the evidence you need. But they're really good gigs. And I liked the Live Magic one. It was I liked the way it was, just like a condensed, version of it. You could listen to it in one sitting. I know it's not. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but yeah. But then you also had the Live at Wembley, which is the full the full experience. And that's happened. That was released a few years back now, wasn't it? There was a big thing. So yeah, that's more Queen live. So yeah, I've been talking about where is it? Got to get it right. I've been talking about this one. He says Live Magic, which at the time I really loved. I thought it was really good. Really loved playing this one back in the day. Um, Even though it's not perfect, I still loved it. There you go. So there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed my little trip down the misty, coloured lanes of my memory. Maybe you used to take things illegally off the radio too, like I did. Dirty bootlegger. Don't get me started on the top 40. Ooh, on Sundays on Radio 1. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, if you haven't. And that's it. There's only one more thing left to say, and it's ta-da.